Hello again, my friends. Welcome to another episode of John's Sports Corner. I know last week left you with begging for more as we had Michael Chambers with us last week. And I'm sure that you have enjoyed that episode. Listen to it more than once because it's not only posted on the Sosofat Media website, it's also posted on LinkedIn, which is getting a lot of views, as well as it is being broadcasted on the morning program in New York, the early morning program on WPAT. So those people who are driving to work get a chance to listen to Michael Chambers and his story. So John, you're gone abroad. You're gone
Hmm.
far in.
Slide mongoose. Thank you so much, Trevor. And I like if it's Wednesday, certainly it's time for John Sports Corner here on the Sosofat Media Network. Good afternoon to our viewers, to our listeners, wherever you are, and welcome. Just want to remind you again, folks, that you can go to the Winner's Circle Sports in the Sosofat shop and get merchandise as listed in the shop, including the great Jamaican Blue Mountain
Oh
coffee.
yeah, oh yeah.
Of course, the rum cake
No.
also goes well with that Blue Mountain coffee.
Hmm.
So, folks, as I say, you can, and it is September now, middle of September. Christmas is not too far away. And you could very well go to the saucer bone shop and do something different as a Christmas gift by getting some coffee, couple packets of coffee, and give us gifts for Christmas.
Yes,
I
yes.
think people get that as a gift, Trevor. Between Christmas and New Year's, they get up and brew some Blue Mountain coffee and just light up the house, give it a
Well,
different aroma.
listen, I want the rum cake, all right?
One cake. So let's start as usual with birthdays. Yesterday, Sharika Williams, a young Jamaican athlete, celebrated a birthday. So too, Kemar Lawrence, a reggae boy, celebrated. Today, Christian Gordon, another of our young athletes, and the great Brazilian striker by the name of Ronaldo,
Oh, yes.
who won 3 FIFA of the Year awards. He celebrates a birthday today. We jump to Saturday. One Mr. Christopher Henry Gale celebrates a birthday.
Oh, Chris Gale.
Another former great West Indian cricketer out of Antigua and Barbuda, Curtly Ambrose, and I'll say something else about Sir Curtly Ambrose in a little while. James Gilks, former Guyana sprinter in 1978, as a matter of fact, as a member of Tobias Striders. He was denied a world record for the 4x200-meter relay because all members of the team were not from the same country.
Oh,
The other team members were Guy Abrams of Panama, Michael Simmons of the US, and one Mr. Donald Quarry out of Jamaica.
oh, okay.
Also celebrating coming up on Saturday, Elaine Davis, a former Jamaica Sunshine Girl, as
Mhm.
in netball. Heartiest congratulations to two of our great Caribbean athletes, Grenada's Kirani James
Mm,
and Antigua and Barbuda's Sir Curtly Ambrose, who are
mm,
to be awarded honorary doctorate degrees by the University of the West Indies.
mm.
Kirani James's recognition will take place on November 9th at the Global Campus, while Sir Curtly's ceremony will take place October 12th. Jump into some track and field news, arguably the greatest female sprinter of all time. Olympic and World Championship medalist Shelley Fraser Price to be given the keys of the city of Kingston. The decision to bestow this honor on Jamaica's sprint legend was approved at a meeting of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Council recently. In addition to receiving the keys, Mrs. Shelley Ann Fraser Price is to have a road in her Waterhouse community named in her honor.
Okay.
World Athletics President Lord Sebastian Coe has been named as one of 7 confirmed candidates to succeed Thomas Bach as the next International Olympic Committee president. His competition will come from Spain's Juan Antonio Samaranch Jr., Francis David Lapartier, Zimbabwe's Christy Coventry, Japan's Morinari Watanabe, Sweden's Johan Eliash, and Prince Faisal Al Hussein of Jordan. 41-year-old Coventry, a 7-time Olympic swimming medalist, is bidding to become the first woman and African to become head of the International Olympic Committee and is the youngest of the candidates.
Okay.
111 IOC members will vote for the new IOC president in March of 2025, and the winner take office in June 2025. Caribbean athletes showed up in a big way on the final weekend of the Diamond League circuit in Brussels. From Jamaica, Akeem Blake won the men's 100 meters in 9.93 seconds. Tajay Gale came up big in the long jump to win the event with a leap of 8.28 meters. You know, Tajay Gale won the World Championship long jump. I think it was 2 World Championships ago. And last year he got a bronze medal, but the jump that he made when he won that World Championship, it was out of this world. I think it was on his very last attempt, and he has not really come close to that jump again. And it is so interesting with field events in track and field. I think especially discus, shot put, long jump, triple jump, javelin, that just one throw can win the event, no matter what you did before that one throw. Just that one throw of that one toss can win you the event. Yes. Anyway, in a promotional women's 400 meters, Stacey Ann Williams was second in 50.53. Sydney McLaughlin Levrone of the U.S. won the race in 49.11 seconds. Natalia Gould, topping 1 minute 58.934 seconds, was third in the women's 800 meters. Shanika Ricketts, 14.22 meters, second in the triple jump. Akila Smith, 14.11 meters, was third in the triple jump. Akira Nugent, 12.55 seconds, third in the women's 100 hurdles. Cheyenne Salmon, 53.99 seconds, third in the women's 400 hurdles, while Rajendra Campbell threw 21.95 meters for third in the shot put. Cuba's Leanis Perez Hernandez, 14.37 meters, the women's triple jump winner. St. Lucia's Julian Alfred closed out the Diamond League circuit by winning the women's 100 in 10.88 seconds.
So she hit front page again. Yes.
The Olympic 100 meter gold medalist.
Yes, you know.
And she also won silver in the 200 meters.
Yeah, but you know, before you move on, you know, what's going on with Shara Richardson? You know.
Sha'Carri Richardson?
Sha'Carri, yeah. Because
you know, interesting. The meet before this, she had beaten Julian Alfred. She won the race, Julian Alfred second. But for some reason, she didn't show up in the final. She came last in the field in the final.
Right. She came in 7th. Oh, so she never qualified to
Or
move,
eighth. So,
forward.
no, she ran the final, but she came 7th, 8th,
Yes,
whatever
that
it
is
was.
why
But
that is why I
she
asked the
was,
question. Because that type of falling off is not normal. That other people don't catch up to you that fast. Some one or two that you normally go neck and neck with, but to come in 7th or 8th in a wide field, it raises some question. And I say this because I remember about 5 months ago, when she was on the cover of this magazine and fastest woman in the world, and I was like, slow down a second now. She haven't won anything yet at the Olympics. When you're running, when I'm running in the backyard, I'm like, and I get to the tape, I'm the fastest man in my backyard. I have to win at the Olympics. So that is why I'm concerned now that, that she seems to have dropped off. I mean, it could be a lack of motivation. I mean, could it be disappointment? Could
I
be.
think she has had up and down career so far. Because going back to when I first came across Sha'Carri Richardson in college, and she blew away the field in 100, I said, whoa.
Yes.
It looked like she's coming to challenge the Jamaica trio.
Exactly.
But it never really did happen.
Right.
Until this year. Well, she won last year World Championship where she beat Sharika Jackson and Shelley. But this year, Sharika and Shelley had injuries.
Right.
Elaine Thompson didn't even run in our trials because she has injuries.
She has injuries.
But, and interestingly, although Shelley says that the Olympics was her last Olympic Games, she has not retired,
No.
So we're expecting her to run next year, maybe in the World Championships, if she can make the Jamaica team. And notice I say if.
Because the Jamaica team is sharp like a razor now, I mean,
Because we have some young ones coming along now that I think are going to, it might take them another couple of years to really get to the fore. But we have some young talent there, Trevor, really, both men and women. That could really make Jamaicans proud for the next several years.
A repeat of what Usain Bolt did.
Exactly. Because, you have Kishian Thompson now, who was the silver medalist.
Right.
And, who I believe could have won that race had he been healthy. Because remember, his coach said coming out of the semifinals, he came out of the semifinal with a little injury that they had to work on before the final.
Well, I think if you had practiced in dipping his shoulders, because his foot came across the line first.
Well,
okay, and typically, when we used to run race, we used to draw a line on the ground, right?
Well, and of course, there's Akeem Blake, another young sprinter. Akeem Blake, I maintain that he needs to work on that last 40 in the 100. So too, Oblique Seville, in the final of the Olympic Games, Oblique Seville said he had in the final, he felt something in the race. And when he went for that last gear, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, we have some young sprinters here, as I said, both male and female. But I think the male pool is quite interesting because there's also another youngster by the name of Rohan Watson, who could be in the mix also.
And we have the hurdles, the guy who's running the hurdles.
Well, the hurdlers, we have a lot of hurdlers, both in the sprint and in the 400.
Mhm.
and who probably should do well in the years ahead.
Mhm.
Um, you know, the track and field coaches in Jamaica are very knowledgeable, Trevor,
Yes.
and they seem to have it down to a science now, how to get the athletes ready.
Mhm.
If they're suffering from an injury, how to treat the injury to
Mhm.
to to meet a target date then.
Right.
Yeah. And I think GC Foster College is very responsible for
Yes.
turning out coaches.
Yes.
And what I can see happening, eventually, that some of our coaches might be leaving the shores of Jamaica to go elsewhere, maybe to other Caribbean islands to coach,
Well,
because
quite a
there's
few of
not
them have
enough.
left already.
eh, Exactly, because there's not enough jobs then
Yeah.
in Jamaica, you know,
But they
and
are
it might be more
they are
lucrative.
being actively recruited, not because there's not
Yes,
jobs.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, they are. So it's and it's good, and all
Yes.
credit to the who is Chairman Morris Wilson,
Mhm.
who is a head honcho there at GC Foster College now. But it's great. Anyway, Trevor, let's pushing on. Um, the the other athletes from the Caribbean, I mentioned Julian Alfred winning the women's 100 in 10.88 seconds.
Uh-huh.
Grenada's Kirani James was second in the 400 meters in 44.63. And as we mentioned earlier, he's been honored with a doctorate by
Okay.
University of West Indies. And Grenada's Anderson Peters threw 87.87 meters to win the javelin. So our athletes did quite well uh, in this year's Diamond League circuit. Unfortunately, Jamaica didn't have any women in the women's 100 meters, which is kind of unusual. Anyway,
Very.
the Wonder Diamond League will sweeten the pot for athletes next year to its highest level. The total amount of prize money will be increased to US 9.24 million in
Oh.
2025. The increase will apply to all 32 Diamond League disciplines. And as always, prize monies will be gender equal.
Oh, that is a good move. Nobody have to do the transfer business anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, sure. In the world of cricket, a new era is about to unfold in women's cricket. The
Mhm.
upcoming 2020 Women's World Cup will be the first ICC event where the women will receive the same prize monies as their male counterparts,
Catching up on soccer, John.
marking
Catching up with soccer, US.
marking a significant milestone in sports history.
Mhm.
The Women's World Cup, Women Cricket World Cup, scheduled for October 3rd through the 20th in the United Arab Emirates. The winner to receive US 2.3 million, up from 1 million that Australia women got for winning the last
Wow.
Women's World Cup. Cricket World Cup.
Yep. Well, that might motivate some more people to go play cricket, John.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
Um,
when you're doing cricket, you don't say work so hard. You say playing, you're playing hard.
well, and Trevor, with the advent now of 2020 cricket and
Mhm.
T10 cricket,
Uh-huh.
there are now a lot of opportunities for cricketers to earn good money.
Yes, gate money is
you know.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Once you sharp your skills and can score runs and take wickets,
Yep,
you're in the money.
you're in the money.
It's just a question now of while you're earning this money, how you maintain that when the day comes that you can't bat or you can't bowl, that you're set for life
yes,
because you
yes,
you
yes.
have organized your finances in such a way that you can live comfortably.
Well, when you get enough to spend and have some left over.
Well, and that's a problem. You see, sometimes some of them they're earning this money and they don't realize that maybe in another 5 years they're not going to be earning that kind of money.
Okay.
And they squander basically
So would it be a
and don't
better
put away anything for tomorrow.
would it be advisable, John, that they set up a pension plan for these active players once they have been active for X amount of games?
I believe there I believe there's some kind of pension fund, Trevor. But I probably would have to speak to the
Yes,
WIPA
John.
president, Wabel Hines. I'll ask him about it.
Okay.
And
Yes, I mean it might be a good idea, granted that it is recognized that just like some of our reggae artists down in Jamaica, homeless now, because when you do not have a system in place like we do in the traditional 10 to 5, or in our case, like our conversation, 8 to 10, where you actually have a 401c set up as part of the structure of the payment system. You have a pension plan set up in place, and you're paying taxes. We also have a social security coming at the end of your journey.
yeah,
Okay, then you have to think in terms that if we're going to start balancing, you know, employment as employment, then you should say that those things are needed. The NBA, for example, has a very aggressive retirement program for its players.
yeah.
You know, so if someone is going to spend all that time and put in the work, they contribute more than what they get paid for on the field.
Mm.
Okay, because you always have one person who win the gold, but they have to run against 10 other persons, right?
hmm
So when you go back
I think
home,
it's just a matter of maybe somebody taking the time to educate our youngsters, um, to let them know then, Trevor, money management. And they have to think about the fact that um, your earning life might be 5, 6 years.
okay,
Um, so you have to prepare for the post 5, 6 year period. Some might go 10 years, whatever,
mhm.
and do well, but you still have to prepare and find some kind of structure, some kind of get financial advice somewhere
But
how
John,
to.
but John, it is strange that you should say that while we recognize that they do not teach money management in school. No, you teach them all the other areas of occupation. But if we're talking about structure, then the time to start teaching money management is from the kids that are in elementary school coming up through primary school, high school, you know, where, if you're gonna make it a game, we do a lot of things that we learn early that as games in our early life, and they become occupation in our later life. Okay. The discipline, therefore, of financial management it's not something that we should be talking to people about after they start playing the game at a professional level,
Mhm.
because you know they do not start playing cricket cricket at a professional level. They start playing cricket at an elementary level to an amateur level before they got to the professional level. So if you cannot teach them what you want to do at the back end when investment is concerned, the same way teaching them at the front end about discipline of to get to the back end, you should think in terms that you should also be teaching that as a part of the curriculum. You talk about everybody say you want to get everybody into the middle class. Middle class is what the dream is. We need to increase the middle class, but you're not teaching them the financial management to get there. So, just imagine that we're looking to teach the adults money management, but we're not teaching the children money management. And they say when the tree is fully grown, they try to bend the tree, it breaks, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving right along. In the world cricket, more cricket news in Caribbean Premier League cricket last night. Barbados Royals by 9 wickets over the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. Patriots bowled out for 110 in 19.1 overs. Andre Fletcher getting 32. Rakeem Cornwall 5 for 16 from 4 overs. Naveem Ul-Haq 3 for 21 from 4 overs. Royals 113 for 1 in 11.2 overs. Quinton de Kock 59 not out. Alec Athanaze 22 not out. Big game tonight in Trinidad at the Queen's Park Oval with the Trinbago Knight Riders taking on the Guyana Amazon Warriors. And across the pond, Afghanistan defeated South Africa by 6 wickets in the first of 3 one-day internationals at Sharjah earlier today. South Africa dismissed for a paltry 106 in 33.3 overs. Wian Mulder 52. Fazal Haq Faruqi 4 for 35 from 7 overs. Afghanistan 107 for 4 from 26 overs. Gulbadin Naib 35 not out. Azamatullah Omarzai 25 not out. While Bjorn Fortune 2 for 22 from 9 overs. Game 2 on Friday at the same venue. And going over to the world of football, it's being called the trial of the century as English Premiership club Manchester City face 115 charges for allegedly breaking the financial rules of the competition they have won for 4 consecutive seasons. The trial started on Monday at an unknown location. So far, I have not gotten any further news on that trial. The charges are spread over 14 seasons. Don't know if when all is said and done, that Manchester City could be weepers, as the saying goes, cheaters will be weepers.
But John, they don't have a statute of limitation on some of these things over there.
I guess not.
I mean, 14 seasons seem to be a long time ago. People have come
14
into the game.
years.
Many people have come into the games many years and retired since.
And, the question is perhaps, why has it been allowed to go on for so long without, somebody, as I would say, nipping it in the bud?
Well, remember 5 years ago, FIFA was trying to nip a lot of things in the bud very late too.
I guess it depends on who get burned.
Okay, so when it comes to soccer, the nipping in the bud is not really something that happens too fast. Okay,
right.
they get to be full branches first.
Anyway, from the local scene in Jamaica, the 2024-25 Jamaica Premier League season returned to the pre-COVID structure of 3 rounds of preliminary games. So each team will play 39 preliminary round games instead of 26.
Oh,
In the
39 is a
season
lot.
opening game on the weekend,
Mm,
Montego Bay United 4-1 over Veer. Mount Pleasant 2-0 over Portmore.
mm,
The Tivoli Malines game was postponed. Arnett Gardens 3-0 over Dunbeholden, while Chapelton Maroons 2-1 over Harbour View. Waterhouse 1-0 over Racing. Of course, Cavalier, they are the defending champions. But then yesterday, Haiti's Real Hope FA stunned Cavalier to their first defeat, 2-1 in CONCACAF Caribbean Cup at Jamaica's National Stadium. Dwayne Atkinson gave Cavalier a 4th-minute lead. However, Rickanel Sherry and Steve Mondestin canceled that out in the second half for Real Hope. Antigua Grenadines Football Club gained their first points in the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup by securing a 1-1 draw with AC Port of Spain at the Hasley
mm.
Crawford Stadium in Trinidad. Tomorrow, Trinidad and Tobago's Police Football Club are at home to Jamaica's Arnett Gardens. After an absence because of Nations League and African Championships, the English Premiership returned on the weekend. Manchester United winning a game 3-0 over Southampton. Brighton and Ipswich in a 0-0 stalemate. Crystal Palace in a 2-2 stalemate with Leicester City. Fulham also a stalemate with West Ham United. Nottingham Forest over Liverpool. That's a surprise. 1-0. Manchester City 2-1 over Brentford. Aston Villa 3-2 over Everton. Chelsea 1-0 over Bournemouth. Newcastle United 2-1 over the Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Arsenal 1-0 over Tottenham Hotspurs. And results from UEFA Champions League games played today. Manchester City in a 0-0 stalemate with Inter Milan. PSG, that's Paris Saint-Germain, 1-0 over Girona. Juventus 3-1 over PSV Eindhoven. Aston Villa 3-0 over Young Boys. Liverpool 3-1 over AC Milan. Bayern Munich 9-2 over Dynamo Zagreb.
Wow.
4 goals for Harry Kane. 3
Oh.
of them from the penalty spot.
Oh, well.
Real Madrid 3-1 over Stuttgart. Brazilian Hendrick, at 18 years and 58 days, became Real Madrid's youngest Champions League goal scorer, breaking the record set in 1995 by Raul, who
What's his
was
name?
18 years. Raul
Yeah, what? No, who just broke the record?
Hendrick, the Brazilian, young Brazilian.
What position he played? Because with with Mbappe and Vinci and
Striker.
oh, man, I mean they're loaded for beer. And Rodrigo and
Rodrigo, yeah,
Rodrigo and I mean they're loaded.
yeah.
You know.
Anyway, Sporting CP by 2-0 over Lille. Oh, and by the way, Sparta Prague won their first Champions League game in 21 years when they defeated Red Bull Salzburg 3-0 earlier. Their last win was a 1-0 win over Lazio in December of 2003.
Oh, they must have been demoted, man. I mean,
Well,
they must have been climbing up from from
yeah,
down.
but it's a qualification standard, and if you not get, for instance, like in the English Premiership, the top 4 teams in the Premiership each year go to the following year Champions League. So each country has a qualification
Yes.
standard. So if you don't meet that standard, then
You
you
get
know
demoted. You get demoted. You stay in the minor leagues.
you get zapped. Manchester City women were without their leading goal scorer Khadija Bonishaw for Jamaica for their UEFA Women's Champions League game against Paris FC today. The club failed to file a visa application for Bonishaw.
Oh, you're
Anyway,
kidding me.
as it turned out, City did not need Bonishaw
Okay.
as they, as they scorched a 5-0 win over
Okay.
Paris FC.
Okay.
But City have failed to reach the Champions League women's group stage the last 3 campaigns. So maybe things will change this year.
Okay.
Chelsea and Aston Villa women kick off the Women's Super League on Friday. Jamaican National Women's Premier League champions Fraser's Whip carry a 2-game loss into this evening's CONCACAF Women's Champions Cup against Mexico's Tigres Femenil. Coach Courtney Dowdy is hoping for a solid performance from his young ladies on home ground. Meanwhile, next up for the Jamaica Reggae Boys in the CONCACAF Nations League football is Nicaragua in Nicaragua. One of the biggest...
Nicaragua in Nicaragua?
Nicaragua in Nicaragua.
Okay.
I guess one of the sporting events Jamaicans look forward to every year. One, of course, champs. But schoolboy football is also right up there, especially when it gets down to the playoff rounds.
Okay.
So I have some scores from the DaCosta Cup. Let me start with the DaCosta Cup. Glenmuir, 15-0 over Winston Jones.
15.
15.
Don't they have a mercy rule in that thing, John?
3 handfuls. Well, no mercy rule, because the Kingston College beat a team last week by 18-0. Anyway, Glenmuir, as I said, 15-0 over Winston Jones. McGrath 5-1 over Tassius Golding. Cornwall 1-0 over Irwin High School. Rossies 3-2 over Green Island. Monroe 4-0 over Newell Marcus Garvey and Ferncourt in a 2-2 stalemate, while BB Coke 1-0 over St. Elizabeth Technical High School. Manning Cup, Mona 9-1 over Tarrant High. Jonathan Grant 2-0 over Waterford. Campion 4-0 over Meadowbrook. Kingston College 2-0 over Jose Marti. Holy Trinity 2-1 over Papine, and St. George's College 7-0 over Norman Manley.
Wow.
Jamaica are the champions of America's men's netball championships being played in St. Kitts and Nevis. They defeated Trinidad and Tobago 62-49 in the match of unbeatens last night. Jamaica has also won over Grenada 56-20, Antigua and Barbuda 83-14, and England 30-27. Before losing to Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago had wins over St. Kitts and Nevis 56-27, the USA 48-14, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 54-37, and Antigua and Barbuda 87-16. Moving over some horse racing, Trevor. Barbadian ace jockey, 51-year-old Patrick Husbands, created a major upset at Woodbine when he rode Win for the Money, the victory in Saturday's Grade 1 in the Woodbine Mile.
And hold on, let me get this straight now. Win for the money ran the race, but the jockey created the upset.
Yeah, he upset the favorites.
I mean,
It was actually the second time he was capturing this prestigious race that
I
is
would,
part of the
I would
Breeders'
have
Cup.
thought they would say that Win for the money upset the favorite.
Well, you know, without the jockey, Win for the Money would run loose. But he won it again for the first time back in 2001 with numerous times. It's interesting. It's interesting. Some horse names, you know. You know, I remember there was one in Jamaica recently, Trevor, named Bad Gal Hillary.
Okay. But
You know, some interesting horse names.
but the most renowned one was Long Shot.
Long shot, kick the bucket. You know. Of course, tennis. Finally, we close this afternoon's sports update on John Sports Corner with some tennis, as world number 6 Coco Gauff has split with her coach Brad Gilbert, and I'm kind of not surprised, you know. Since winning the U.S. Open last year, I seem to notice a little drop in intensity or something. Like she's not really in the game or stepping up to the plate now, advancing in her career. So I'm kind of not surprised. I don't know if it's really the coach's fault then when a team is not performing, or a coaching change usually takes place when the team is not performing.
Well, since the coach get all the credit when the team is performing.
When they win, you know, he gets the boot when they're not performing. You know? But certainly, you know, Trevor, I really hope that both Coco and Naomi Osaka return to the top of the women's tennis heap next year.
Yes.
You know, Naomi has had her issues since winning I think she has won 4 Grand Slam titles so far. And then she had I think it's some mental issues, and then she gave birth to a child, and she's just coming back. But I hope, you know, that she can regain that championship form that she had a few years ago.
Well, I'm going to suggest that she drinks some Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee. And if that doesn't work as well as we would like to, we get her some yellow yam.
The moringa.
More yellow yam. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the moringa.
Yeah. But then certainly, folks, that's where I put a wrap on John Sports Corner on Sosofat Media Network. However, as Trevor just mentioned, just remember to go to the Winner Circle store in the Sosofat shop and pick up merchandise of your choice. There's a lot of stuff there that you can get in your, should I say the war chest? And it will have the Winner Circle logo on it, right, Trevor?
Yes.
So, you know, you can show off to your friends.
Yes.
I am a winner circle.
That you are in the winner circle.
That you are in the winner circle. Yeah. But folks, you know, thanks for listening. And I hope you have enjoyed this update once more on a Wednesday afternoon at 6 o'clock.
Yes. And just remind our viewers that you can watch this rebroadcast on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and other social media. Otherwise, you can go to www.sosofat.com and go to Sosofat TV. So we have Sosofat Radio, but when you go to Sosofat TV, you're going to find John's Corner store or Sports Corner, I'm sorry, on Sosofat TV. Otherwise, you can go to YouTube. Just go to YouTube and Google Sosofat TV, and you'll find all the episodes for John's Sports Corner on the YouTube channel. Again, thank you so much, John, for enlightening our
Just
community.
before we go, Trevor, I had mentioned before that Cricket Hall of Famer Len Chambers has written a book, My Life in Cricket, and hopefully I can get Len to come on with us next week, Wednesday, to talk about the book. It's really an interesting read so far, and
Okay.
it has brought back some memories for me.
Yes, and on top of that, if you would like to sit in on John's Sports Corner every Wednesday live at 6 p.m., please go to www.sosobone.com and subscribe. www.sosobone.com and subscribe. And you can send an email to contact@sosobone.com, and we will send you the Zoom link so you can join us live on John Sports Corner. Again, the email address is contact@sosobone.com, and you can join us live on John Sports Corner if you so desire. Again, let me say thank you for watching, and thank you, John, for again bringing our community up to date with what is a long missed reporting on our sports, especially in our Caribbean community. And as we say, cricket. I used to say that the time that, or the British used to say that the sun does not set on the British Empire, and cricket has really demonstrated that when you're calling all these countries in all different parts of the world, which was all a part of the British Empire. That is why you have cricket in Afghanistan and all those other places. So thank you so much, John. Thank you.
And not the traditional Zimbabwe.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Have a good evening, folks.